Imagine this. A mother and daughter are getting ready for church on a Sunday morning. A man runs up to them and tries to grab one of them. He's not able to, and the mother and daughter run back into their house. However, this man barges in and follows them into their house. The mother, fearing for her safety and her daughter's, shoots the man. This may seem like a far-fetched idea, but on the 2nd of December, 2018, according to WXYZ News, this happened in Detroit, Michigan. I believe that concealed carry reciprocity, which is concealed carry permits being recognized in all 50 states, is a very good idea for several reasons. There are many benefits for public safety and national security. With proper training, dangerous situations can be avoided, and a middle ground with the national reciprocity is an excellent idea. As a Marine trained in the proper use of force as a security guard for the Commandant of the Marine Corps for the past 2 years, I've seen firsthand how situations can be de-escalated by just use of verbal commands, as well as a situation that has escalated to needing a pistol being pulled on the individual to prevent themselves from hurting themselves or others. I believe there's many benefits for public safety with concealed carry holders. For example, in Utah, a police officer was being attacked, and a concealed carry holder was able to stop that attack. On the 2nd of February 2018, there was a man stealing from a donations collection bin, and the police officer had pulled up to stop him. The man stealing from the donation bin then attacked the police officer. Luckily, there was a bystander that was driving by that was a concealed carry holder. He was able to pull his weapon on the man attacking the police officer, and the man fled. The police officer had suffered a fractured eye socket among other cuts and lacerations on his face, according to Fox News. And this action prevented further injury to the police officer, as well as potentially saving his life. I believe there are many situations like that where a concealed carry holder prevents a robbery and things like that, and I believe that it's not a common occurrence, but it's common enough to where national reciprocity would be an incredibly useful thing in the country. I believe if we had a training standard, that would also be an incredibly useful part, because it would prevent underqualified individuals from receiving their concealed carry permit, thus preventing dangerous situations from happening. For example, when I applied for my Wisconsin concealed carry permit, I had to provide a proof of training. However, the proof of training that they accepted was a hunter safety certificate, which I had completed 10 or 11 years prior. This is good training in how to handle a firearm. However, it is not good training in the proper response to certain situations. Hunter safety did not give me any training on how to handle certain situations, when I can pull my firearm, where I could carry my firearm, and things like that. And those are very important for legal and safety reasons as well. And another example, for Utah, which is a concealed carry permit that is recognized in almost all 50 states, you need to take a course that is certified by the Bureau of Criminal Identification. Bureau of Criminal Identification. This is a course that teaches both weapons handling and the proper use of force in responding to situations, and I think that's a much better idea as well. An example of underqualified individuals getting a concealed carry permit: on the 8th of October in 2015, in a parking lot of a Home Depot in Detroit, Michigan, there was a robber in a black hoodie that was stealing a shopping cart with about $1,000 of tools. He was able to get these tools into a black minivan that was waiting for him, and they drove off. As they were driving off, a concealed carry holder pulled her pistol and fired at the SUV. She may have hit the SUV in a tire, but they are not entirely sure on that. This is a terrible, terrible use of concealed carry permit for a couple of reasons. She did not properly use her weapon, as there was no threat in that situation. They were only stealing tools. Thus, she was not justified, in my opinion, to pull her pistol or fire at the vehicle, as no life, limb, or eyesight was in danger. There was also a lack of training, because she fired without knowing what was in her surroundings. She just fired at the SUV, not knowing who was in the SUV or who was around that SUV that could have potentially been hit by those rounds that she fired. And she also failed to hit the vehicle. As a concealed carry holder, you're responsible for each and every shot that you fire in a self-defense situation. However, since she did not hit the vehicle, she has no idea on where her rounds went, and she has no idea who it might have hit as well. So, in my opinion, because of those three reasons, she was a very underqualified individual and should not have had her concealed carry permit at all. The third point for having national reciprocity is that it prevents travel hassle and legal troubles, as well as standardizing and training. Traveling can get very confusing, as most states will honor a permit, but states don't have to honor a permit. For example, this is the reciprocity map for Wisconsin from concealcarry.com. As you can see, two of the most common states that Wisconsin residents would travel to, Minnesota and Illinois, do not honor the concealed carry permit of Wisconsin. This is a problem for a couple of reasons. When you're traveling to those states, you can no longer carry a concealed weapon and you don't have a means of defense that you've been used to while in Wisconsin. As well as if you don't do enough research, which is also on your part, but you can get into some serious legal trouble if you carry a firearm illegally in a state that doesn't recognize your permit. Wisconsin is honored in 30 states, as you saw, but Minnesota and Illinois do not honor it. There should also be a standard in training for concealed carry permit holders. For example, a class that is only 2 or 3 days long is more than enough to give everybody a good basic idea of what they need for training. The first part of the training would be a basic weapons handling refresher, just to ensure that all the students know how to handle their firearm. That's a big safety issue as well, and should be second nature for concealed carry holders anyway. The biggest part of the class would be the proper use of force and how to deal with situations. This would be pretty much the justifications for when you can pull your pistol and when you can fire your pistol in self-defense. The basic rule that I've always been taught has been in danger of life, limb, or eyesight. However, this class would go into much greater detail and give specific examples of what situations you can pull your pistol in. In conclusion, I believe that national reciprocity would be a huge benefit for national security and public safety, to prevent dangerous situations via unqualified and undertrained individuals, and I think that it would be a great middle ground to help individuals get a self-defense tool that they can use, but also keep the public safe as well. Self-defense is a natural instinct. You always want to defend those that you love, and I believe that national reciprocity would be a great thing to help fulfill this instinct and keep those that you love safe.